Sorry guys. Welcome back to the Dion Gaming channel. I'm tired. It's 1:08 a.m. 9/27, 2019. We're still going for a heated discussion in here, which obviously I'm not a representative, so I can't talk, but I still talked to the representative of each one except Trim, because in all honesty, I have talked to him before, and he's just a goddamn asshole or anything like that. However, Trent has tried again. If you actually look at the past couple videos that already has been uploaded, there's one over here about the video studio mentality of the speedrun and balance. I did make one that is about an hour and 30 minutes. It's called the balance and representation, and you can technically go over here and find it if you actually want to spend 1 hour and 36 minutes on the specific topics about that. But at the same time, there is another one that is almost close to finish uploading and then processing. That's called previous video BG10 and BG9, which is also correspondent to the video, the mentality of the speedrun and balance. Because I have spoken to many speedrunners, which I have technically seen that their mind, their mentality is speedrun, and I have talked to the staff, and some of the staff have admitted that these people, when they're talking about the balance, is speedrun, is biased. Everything that they say is technically biased. It's all about speedrun. They never understand the casual. You can actually read as well the descriptions that I put down here on both videos on the mentality and speedrun and balance, plus the one I put over here, which is already started to process. So let me actually just jump down a little bit quickly. The discussion got up again on these yesterday, which was September 26th. I made a video, I erased it again because I wanted to redo this again, but again, when before this actually ended, which was on August 31st, before again got 3 weeks later, this was what was said now. And the reason why I want to leave it right here is because, or start it right here, is because the topic has changed from they lost already. They lost in the vote in here. Basically, there's about 33 yes and so on, 37 no, and they lost in they have it their way. So now they're fighting even harder, but using specific other tactics to change the change the subject into something else to be able to nerf it. The lost spirit ship either by damage or standing unit being completely standby and have damage when they're standby instead of moving and so on and blah 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 blah. So right here, the last thing that was actually said before the whole thing got shut down and there were no more talk was that he actually switched the argument to a level 9, level 10, being that the only way to be a hardcore map is to use the LSS and so on. And one other thing I actually want to point out very ahead of that time is that if that is true and so on, why would you nerf something that helps you out beat the hardcore theme map for Lost Soul in level 10 and stuff like that? Because he definitely wants like cut damage or turret or something like that. He wants to nerf it badly, the Lost Spirit ship and so on. So when I actually read everything again one more time from the newest and forward, what I found out again is that he's still on an agenda that he wants to nerf it where he can actually still play efficiently, but other players cannot play it efficiently. Like it's too strong for casual players, so they don't want them to be that strong or anything like that. And again, if there are some other speedrunner who are benefiting in a way that they can actually beat the map at level 10 or anything like that with the Lost Soul easier than any other type of deck, they want to nerf it to drop the competition. Again, every word that they actually talk about is completely biased in speedrun. So if you like look over here, everything that I have said in red is technical terms, and the yellow one is something that is more important on the terms. So the main issue for them is that random LSS deck for the 10 is that you need too many cards for blah blah blah. But basically, as I mentioned before, LLS gets too strong in casual play. Now the thing that I taught to a speedrunner is that RPVE 9 is casual to them, so on. But I have never, in the time that I paid 20 to 30 maps a day, 17 hours a day, I have never met Trim in there. So I'm pretty sure if they ever did that as a speedrunner, he's gonna run with his goddamn group and not with anybody else who is a speedrunner and so on. And occasionally I have been invited by Hallis, but then again, I didn't actually do anything with Hallis. Maybe I did it one time, but I didn't do much with Hallis. And Hallis is on a different team than Trim. Trim has like Prift, I think Wanky and Level, and then Hallis has his own team on the side. So so they're against each other and stuff like that. I thought they were all united, and that's what the reason why I stood away from a bunch of the speedrunners, even though there are some technical speedrun who has a little bit more brain or IQ than the other speedrunners in here and have a little understanding, but we have a little more of a blockage in the language barrier. So as we look at the bottom set of here, we already have a 2/3 majority representative vote for the change for the or requirement, which is technically the same change that I spoke to every representative when this whole argument started. A little quick summary, if you guys also want to go over here to the video, mentality of the speedrun balance, or this one right here, or if you actually want to drop down to the, go to here to video, drop down all the way to the balance of representation, which actually is a little bit too, it's harsh. It has a lot of harsh language, by the way. It's about 1 hour and 34 minutes, and actually speaks about the speedrunners, their representation, what they want for the lost peership, and how biased it is and stuff like that. And it actually gets to that point because they feel speedrunners are the top ranks. They feel like they actually technically own the game or something like that, like they actually can make any changes and they're always right and stuff like that. And that's not always the case. Again, you can actually see more about that here in the mentality of the speedrun and balance and so on. So when you actually look down here, I gave that suggestion, which if I drop this down and I go right around here, you'll find out that these are something that I was showing a representative, that these representative right here, some of these are the same, some of these are different and stuff like that. Like for example, this and this may be the same, maybe this is different, this is the same, because again, I spoke to Lagos, I spoke to Emma, I talked to sometimes I spoke differently with Radical and stuff like that, but again, he's not part of the PvE, more of a PvP in section and so on. So I talked to Chibi, I talked to Hallis is not a representative, but I talked to Hallis too, because you'll see a speedrunner as well in here. One time I talked to Train, but it was toxic as fuck for him, so basically I left that. I don't talk to Frith after I saw the argument between him and Ultra Cool, because again, it's like talking to a goddamn wall. So again, in here, you're actually going to be seeing that the person actually warned me that you will have all speedrunner against you, and it's like, I know that all speedrunner are going against me and stuff like that, and that's what I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight their bias, because all the representative in here are all speedruns and PvP. There is no PvE casual, and though people actually keep saying that speedrun has the mentality of everything, no, fuck no. They have the mentality of speedrun, basically. They don't think like casual. In fact, it was said before, the trend said that the casual is irrelevant to the goddamn argument or something like that. Like, they don't have any say in this. And at the same time, I actually spoke to somebody else who is a speedrunner who said, again, casual parts for what you were saying about Batario King and stuff like that, it has no different, because RPV9 is casual, and it doesn't matter. All decks are efficient in there, even though it does. I'm sorry to you, bro, but that's just technically bullshit for that, because in actuality, LSS and Batario are more efficient than any other deck in the game for RPV9. And many people actually agree with that, and I have took a screenshot from those people as well. So again, during this time, I said I think for the start, maybe to focus on the deck cards, which actually should be the first focus. Lower the army requirement, increase, and then increase. At the moment, I can post a suggestion your name, but I won't vote yes, which again, I said this many times in other videos. The person say was going to vote it, and then you can tell who this is, basically, because he technically does it not on my name, but he did it technically on his name. Because I told him, at one point I said it's like I'm nobody to anybody. Okay, I'm not a representative. I'm not a big top player or something like that. My name doesn't have any found weight behind it. Because when I talked to Cupid, when they said that when you're top rank, he said that your argument has more weight and stuff like that when you're up there and stuff like that. So I disagree with that, because I have talked to other like staff and stuff like that, and said, and not really, because some good players can have bad suggestions and stuff like that, and have made bad suggestion. So again, moving on to this is technically the suggestion that I made, and as you read more down, you'll see that it makes sense when I was speaking to them, that you should make the two frost into shadow. And again, you can read everything right here and so on, and that's pretty much answers that I picked from each representative and such, and then showed it to each representative so they can all come into an agreement about the specific nerf. Which again, if we actually go back to the picture, I'm sorry, not this one, but the right here on paint, we can go back to here and find out that the majority of voted is 33 yes onto this, and the Lost Dragon, and no for the one in the bottom. When the thing started again yesterday at 6:30 a.m., which is the 9/26 of 2019, we're a little bit stuck here, even though I think the casual play changed the orb requirement will make the most sense, which is actually technically true. Because then again, if you have the heal of the lost series, you don't need regrowth and stuff like that. If you actually looked at the way that I play my lost soul deck, if you actually come here to the video, and I can give you the number, but I think the best one to go is one of these one over here that I think it may be the Batario LSS deck. This is the first one. It's about 41 million. I think that one has many of these videos that I have done with the Lost Spirit ship, and I actually want to show you one of them. For example, I want to go here to the bad and representation and then cut up the sound, so you can see that during this time I did actually say how many of these ships with the recycle ability, how many people see that this with the pure Lost Soul deck, how many ships are in Splash deck, and see what they want to nerf and so on. So again, especially with that Splash deck, is because you can actually use green in it. You can actually have regrowth, revenge, and stuff like that. And then when you actually look a little bit more to the left, which is where I'm actually playing in the bottom left, you'll see that there are yellow bars like all the way down here, and that's because I am actually using the Lost Soul with the healing ability and so on. So again, not many people actually use this. In fact, if you actually go back to the video, which is, sorry, I think I actually took this out and I should have done. When you actually look back in the, I think it's this one, the LSS ship variation, and then again the LSS variation example and stuff like that. When you look at this two type of video, you're going to see some data in here, like specifically this one right here, Batario and the replay LSS deck. If you actually go around this right here, you'll see the data that I was actually showing about how the ships were using less with the recycle, and then it has been increased since the time that I've been promoting. And then during the time that I finished promoting the Lost Soul Pure deck, and I jump into the Batario promotion to see how many increased during the 252 hours, those times that I would not play my Lost Soul deck, there were some cards that goddamn never will be played again. Again, you actually see those videos up there. Let me actually get a little bit more of this because it will take quite a while. This actually gets into a bit discussion. Let me actually let me actually save this and then just put poopy, maybe like that, poopy, or something like that. Okay, so I am actually going to go right ahead and come back here, and then again it speaks the same thing. It speaks more about it's actually too efficient. The LSS 10 and the LSS deck is too efficient for the 10 and so on. It's basically the only way to be a hardcore Lost Soul theme and stuff like that. And you can actually read this all right down here. I'm not gonna go too much over it. It's the same thing. It's the same agenda. He just wants to like nerf it in a way that is more efficient to him to use, and everybody else is not. So he pretty much is like a little baby on a candy throne or something like that, saying this is what you guys have to do. You should nerf it this way and stuff like that. It benefits me basically. So he actually put one of the things in here which I am going to go over. I am going to enter the game, and when I enter the game I will get to the point where he shows his Lost Spirit ship, which in technicality in the end that actually shows improves to my suggestion to be the right way to go. Just so you guys know, it really doesn't make sense when you actually look at the whole thing that he talked about. It doesn't really make sense to actually nerf the Lost Spirit ship unless it benefits him overall and doesn't benefit other people. It's like LSS being so good that even a casual can do it basically. So I don't want a casual to have this much power of skill. I want them to suffer for that basically. So a little bit really quickly, I actually wanted to promote my shadow video, my Shadow Phoenix video, because obviously if everybody's gonna suck this person's dick for everything here, though I don't use the Forsaken, I use Nox Trooper. If everybody's gonna suck his dick about that, about him being best or anything like that, then I'm going to get to validate what I said about the Shadow Phoenix right here and stuff like that, which is very the best easy T2 shadow card to use in RPVE and any other maps, which I show example. Please watch this video right here. The amazing Shadow Phoenix. Did I spelled that wrong? I spelled that right. Okay. Does that look? If you guys have watched my Shadow video or have watched one of my Lost Soul deck videos, you might have noticed that this looks very familiar, right? I just wanted to actually show you that for now, and then I'll skip it to the forward to the part where it's more important about the LSS. Alright, so I'll technically start it right here, but in all honesty, none of these are important. None of this is important. None of this is important. What is important is on the map, because you can do this in any RPV 9 or anything like that with any deck technically. When it's actually quite important is when you actually get to meet these Lost Banes and basically these Lost Archfiend. If you've seen it, a video that I will show you in a minute, you see that these ones are they hit like a fucking hard truck. I swear to God. And these Lost Bane prevents you from healing and using abilities, so I can't use the Lost Superior ship. So I would technically need to actually use the I'm not sure the lost screen. The lost screen should do that. Should technically shut these down and stuff like that. But in any case, you can definitely shut the other thing down. Now, one of the things I want to let me actually go a little bit closer so you guys can see this. I'll pause it just in a minute so I can show you something. Just gonna go around and keep using the incredible Benevolent mode that some people use. Again, it wasn't in the video that I show you guys about where somebody did had mode in their deck. Okay, he's done with that. Gonna be moved on to this one, obviously. Now, right here, pay attention, pay really close attention, because what you see in here, that the problem is that he's in a splash deck. So if we take the splash ability from this and we give it 2 Frost, 2 Shadow, then boom, automatically, yes, it'll be obsoleted for their speed run because they're being bitch about it. But at the same time, no more casual will be able to use it unless they want to go Lost Soul pure deck, right? Which I did show how that actually works in specific map, because that's my main deck, Lost Soul pure, not with Overlord, but with Lost Warden. One other thing I want to say something is that, however, that if people vote yes on that, they're also going to getting the Lost Dragon as green. And there was a lot of people saying that that's goddamn overpowered. And then the reason why they technically say that is that if I was playing, technically this is the last area. This is when you actually go with a group of 4 people. You technically can bring, when everything is being fight here, you can technically bring the Lost Soul with Regrowth and Equilibrium and Revenge, because it's going to be 1 Shadow, 1 Frost, and 2 Neutral. You can bring them all the way to the right side right here. And then from the back line, they can hit these 2 separately. And what happens is that they disable anything that is range. They disable anything that it has an ability that's using their ability, and so on. So you can actually take out Wild Sappers. You can take out Bandit. I don't know, Bandit Walkers, I think is what they call them. You can take out many buildings out there. Wrathgazer can be shut down easily with these guys if you put 3 of them separated on each Wrathgazer to just stay in there looking like an idiot, and so on, just waiting to be dead. So at the same time, you can actually go around here with the Lost Dragon and start hitting these 2 and healing them while everybody else is running in the front line. But again, he's actually going to go right here and go all the way around, basically. It's going to keep moving because there's some area he can't heal with this, but it's just going to move through the area that he can heal and keep moving around, and so on. So the only thing he did by showing this, and he even said it himself, that the LSS theme for the Battleground 9, the difficulty 9, it could be much harder and so on. Then technically 2 Frost to Shadow, there you go, and so on. If all people are using the Regrowth and Equilibrium, you take Equilibrium and Regrowth from this equation, and automatically this let me actually press OK here. You take that from the equation, the splash deck from the Lost Soul Spirit Ship, and automatically you have your nerf. There you go. Now it will not be too easy for casual play or anything like that. They can't use Regrowth, or they themselves cannot use it. You have to depend on someone else to help you out on that part. So if you actually look over here in the bottom, I actually did had a point where, again, I didn't have to show you anything for here, because that's not the problem. I'm sorry, I'm drinking Smirnoff watermelon flavored mimosa, so I'm telling them the truth. I am a little bit calm, but at the same time, I'm burping a bit here and there. So if you actually look around here, then you'll see that they have a Lost Archfiend and two of the ones that he can't use to heal and stuff like that. So he's going to get completely wrecked during that area. We actually have a newbie player on the right side, blue, who is very new, don't know how to play and stuff like that. So he definitely went with the other guy and so on. And technically, the other guy, Richie, is just pretty much carrying him during that run, which is okay. This is RPV9, no reason to actually bitch about it. And then, you know, I helped him out too. I told him to kill his unit and stuff like that. You can see a video about that later on. But then I found out in here that, okay, now I can see that there are two units here, and I can see that there's a large Archfiend. I can see that right now. So I moved back and strategized that I'm going to use the what is it called? I'm gonna use Infed and so on, and I'm gonna use Frenetic Assault on some of these right here in the front, and I'm gonna use the healing from the ship, and then I'm gonna focus with, because I didn't want these my ground unit to die, I'm gonna focus with the dragon to try to shut down these guys on front of here, and then move to the back and shut down that large Archfiend and so on. So again, this is actually with no regrowth or anything like that. This is just a pure Lost Soul deck. None of my units actually died in here. Again, they are moving forward. This guy right here just get completely wrecked, and I actually make it ×2 in the speed, so we can actually get this much quicker. And ×2 the speed, this large Lost Archfiend is the one that whoops everyone ass, to be honest with you. That large Archfiend is the one that whooped his ass. So at one point he just there's an incredible mo. Maybe he should have used a level on it, but again, he gets completely annihilated from that, and then he comes to my side after getting annihilated from here. Because again, he can't move forward and he can't heal with those lost Bane area. So then I actually, at one technical point, I move to the back and I make my dragon start hitting it. So I wanted to show it here he is. He's gonna come to me, because you already see that I'm able to handle my area easily. So again, I went to the back and I used the Lost Green Affinity Dragon to shut down that large Lost Archfiend in there. And then later on, he actually come with me. But of course, because he did that, that opened up the spot right here, and then we lose this match because that spot we were looking for those monsters, and they really didn't get that too quickly. If he defended this area completely, I would have definitely got to this point. Even if he stalled at this area in the middle, I would have gotten to this point very easily. Without him and without any help of him, just using the Lost Soul. Again, there are a couple of videos about this, me using the Lost Soul pure deck and how to use it and so on, at the same time using the Architect and stuff like that, so you actually can watch these type of video if you want. We're going to move to the last one, which is this one, which I already said it many times. You can actually watch this video. Again, Armor Tower back then was supposed to use 238 times, and that's what I use. Again, if I did 20 to 30 RPVAE back then, 20 to 30 of it, in each Lost Soul needs about 2 armor tower, you can easily make the math that that's technically all me right there. Now, many people actually use the recycle, so why use the recycle if you have regrowth and equilibrium and so on? However, you are about to see some of the numbers increase, which I started. Again, it's going to not only increase for the Lost Soul splash deck or anything like that, but it's also going to increase for the Lost Soul pure deck. Now, I think I already showed it. I'm not sure. Maybe. Let me actually put this at times. No, it is at +2. Jesus Christ, I must be talking in there like I'm talking right now, and so on. So the amount of the Lost Soul, if you actually watch this video, is basically 5,000, I would say, and then 7,000, and then increased to 17,000 used on the 250-hour window, because this is from August. Look, Architects have to be used one time. Architects Call for the purple affinity, because I tried one of this and I didn't like the blue one. I like the purple one, and then I tried 4 of the purple one. This is actually all me right there using that data becomes all me. That's the reason why I showed you is like look at the date that I used them and so on, and this makes it all me. So when moving into the future of that, let me see if I can just get to partially of the future of that. You'll find out the armor tower increase to 461 or 400 plus. I can't see it right now because it's a little bit wonky on the resolution because of the videos that I'm uploading and stuff like that. So the armor tower, for 161, you have to add the other one with 238 because this is separate. This has been a 250-hour window, which added with the August 8th or so on, then that'd be like about 700 of use. So again, this was during the time that I was promoting Batario, because before I was promoting the Lost Soul Spear ship, and again, you can see a video about that. The Architect's Call that no goddamn fucking god uses in here in this goddamn game. No one uses the Architect's Call for anything else. But since I've been promoting the Lost Soul Pure deck, and still promoting it, by the way, here and there, the uses of 1 has increases to 36. Again, that's not the one that I use, but again, people who have seen my videos are knowing that it is Architect's Call, and they're technically the only difference is that the one that is actually gives less damage to the, I think maybe the ones units, the entities that are inside of it, but I know for 100% is the towers will take less damage, and that's the one I use. So it's the purple one, which is now accounted 80, and this is during the time that I did not use the Lost Soul deck for RPBE because I was too busy promoting the Batario, which if you look a little bit more closer, you'll find out that Batario also has been increased and so on. So as you going to be seeing during this time is they're going to try to nerf it. They're going to keep fighting to nerf it their way, and I'm going to keep fighting to either do two things, because I actually spoke to a speedrunner and he actually agrees with me on this specific topic. Batario and the Lost Soul Spirit Ship, and even Ami, which I am an advocate of taking Ami out of the game. These three cards specifically, or decks or anything like that, cards and decks, they need to be left alone. Basically, that's the best choice. Just leave it alone. Do not try to nerf it because of your agenda, and let other people have fun with it and stuff like that. But if you're going to go hardcore and nerf it, this is still going to be the right decision. If you like to have a skill deck or anything like that instead of using Lost Soul, well, just remember that the Lost Soul Dragon, you're going to be able to use Regrowth, Equilibrium, and Revenge, and you're going to be making them attack separately. These specific units that are very hard, like Wrath Gazer, like the large Archfiend, buildings that has a great ability, Bandit Walkers, all that stuff, to shut them down from range and ability and stuff, and that way, in theory, you are having more skill and actually beating the map by macro-managing and stuff like that. Oh, honestly, I think the only skill is actually is in PvP, in all honesty. After I've seen a lot out of areas PvP, I saw all their 2v2 and stuff like that. I think that is actually skills. Nothing else. Speedrun, casual, hell no. None of that is actually skill in this game. But anyway, this is actually, if you guys want to vote more, instead of getting this Lost Spirit ship crippled or anything like that, you can vote yes right here for the two Shadow and two Frost and stuff like that, and get yourself a good Lost Dragon to Great Infinity. And if you don't like this right here with SMM and not back, because they also try to nerf it this way, you guys should give it a good no onto that and stuff like that. So guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Once again, you actually can go right here and hey, thank you, Tran, for proving my point right about, you know, this is what it is all about. It's about splash deck and too easy for casual for you. Then good job. Two Frost, two Shadow. Shut the fuck up. Now you guys can come over here and, you know, see some of these videos you like. If not, do whatever the hell you want to do, because I'm too busy drinking. All right, let me shut this fucking video off.